Hey guys, I'm Gordon, and today some pretty shocking news came my way. TJ Miller says he will not work with Ryan Reynolds again. Let's watch.
I don't know. I mean, would I work with him again? No.
No,
I would not work with him
that
again.
much vitriol.
But I've said that about Michael Bay, and now we're friends, and I would work with him again. But I think Michael Bay is different. And Michael Bay worked on a movie with Ryan Reynolds also. And so he has a very specific opinion.
Yeah, so Michael Bay worked with Ryan Reynolds on the movie Six Underground that came out on Netflix. Ryan Reynolds must have some kind of a huge deal with Netflix because he's had several big, huge movies come out on Netflix. Or maybe Netflix and him just have a close relationship. But that's interesting. He says, so I like TJ. I like TJ Miller. If you look into his past, there's some things you can dig up. I think he had some sort of a claim on his last show about some sexual misconduct. I don't know if those were followed up or if those charges were dropped or whatever, but I like TJ Miller. I saw him live, actually. I used to work at a comedy club, and I was his server for a weekend, and he was really nice. He tipped really well. One thing I loved about his show is you could tell he really cared about the audience. He was such a showman in a way that no other comedian that I saw was, and I saw hundreds of comedians. I worked at this club for years, so he just had not only this presence, but he cared that he was entertaining you. And he did bits that weren't necessarily stand-up within a show. He juggled, so on and so forth. So he really does care about his audience, and not necessarily his image, but just the audience. Am I entertaining the audience? Right? It's not that you should buy a ticket to me because I'm cool, because I'm in movies. It's no, I need to work for you. I'm working for you. That's one of the things I really love about TJ. And so I have a little inclination to trust him, and also he seems like a good guy because he said he mentioned that he said the same thing about Michael Bay, but Michael Bay changed his mind. So it's not like he's the type of person to lock into a certain opinion of someone and be totally unwilling to change. He's just saying, like, look, right now I'm not going to work with Ryan, and let's hear exactly why that is.
I sort of wish him well because he's so good at Deadpool, and I think it's weird that he hates me. And
Well,
I think some people...
Do you know he hates
We
you?
had a really weird moment on Deadpool where he said, let's do one more take. And I was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then as the character, he was like horrifically mean to me. But to me.
Cathartic.
As if I'm Weasel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star. But you just, you do just enough exposition that it's funny, and then we can leave and get back to the real movie.
So he's written.
Well, he's right. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's exactly why he said that.
How much
Because
riffing?
I'm not funnier than he is at all.
But
And
did you
then
react to it?
I just kind of listened and thought it was weird, and then I got off stage because then they finally were like, cut. And then I got off stage and I walked over, and the whole crew was acting weird. And then I went up to Kate and I was like, that was weird, right? And she was like, of course it was f***ing weird. It was insane. It was insane. And everybody was looking at each other like, what the fuck is he doing?
So the claim alone wasn't really convincing enough to me. It certainly stood out like, okay, let's hear more. But then he mentions in his story that everyone was acting weird. The crew was acting weird, and he asked another individual, and they were like, yeah, that was weird. So it seems like it wasn't just him who was reacting this way to what had occurred. It seems like everyone on set felt the exact same way about it. So I think that there's some credence to what he's saying. And again, I wasn't on this set. I don't know Ryan Reynolds that well. The only person in this story that I have actually met is TJ. And another thing about TJ stayed to like help us clean up after one of the shows, which is nuts. No comedian ever does that. But yeah, I like TJ, so I'm inclined to believe him here. And the fact that he says other people on set could, in the moment corroborate the awkwardness of what had occurred. Improving is one thing, but when you're clearly talking about the individual, not the character, it's pretty shocking. And I would not have believed it if it weren't for him saying that the other members on set seemed to have the exact same reaction. Now, I'm not going to boycott Ryan Reynolds or anything. I'm still gonna watch his stuff. I actually don't find Ryan Reynolds that funny. I mean, it's what takes me out of his movies is I could tell it's Ryan Reynolds talking. Ryan Reynolds is being funny, not the character. I never feel like there's a character being presented to me other than the person. He acts the same in public and interviews. He's doing the exact same thing. He's always this Deadpool character. He's always Ryan Reynolds. So I'm not a particular fan of his work, but I'm not going to boycott. I'm not going to tell other people not to go watch his stuff just because of this. And we don't know his perspective. We don't know Ryan's perspective. We don't know if he had taken something TJ had said or done earlier in the day or earlier in the shoot or throughout their work together that would have made him upset and react in that kind of way. So some more context would be helpful, but it seems to me like TJ is pretty clear about this. He is not interested in working with Ryan, and Ryan doesn't seem like the kind of guy to elicit an apology or to give an apology. So I'd be shocked if this situation ever changes. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think about it. If you are, if you care about an actor's private life, and if they're doing something that you don't approve of in their private life, you're not going to go watch their stuff anymore. I'm curious if you guys are that way. I'm not that way, but I know a lot of people are. All right, thanks for watching, guys.